Hello, 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 and welcome back. I'm doing it. Welcome back to the We Don't Want a Podcast. This is a show where two certified dipshits make uncertified takes about your favorite series. We are your hosts. I am Zach, and joining me, as always, he got so strong because he just drank up that giant's milk. It is my boy, Scotty Westside.
I'm here.
Why did I sound like Homestar?
You just sound like Homestar. My fucking guy, Homestar Runner over here.
Dude, the goat.
Yeah, if the folks out there are wondering why we're 10 seconds into this episode and already loopy as hell, there are reasons for that, I swear.
Fuck.
It has nothing to do with extreme technical difficulties and the fact that we've already been sitting here for an hour and a half trying to record, I swear. Nothing of the sort, because we are professionals, and as we know, I am the most excellentest producer of things ever.
Scott, how you doing tonight, pal?
I'm doing fantastic.
I can't, dude.
I'm definitely not crying on the inside.
I'm crying on the outside.
You are crying on the outside, too.
Fuck, dude. I am gonna have to pay for extra time with my therapist this week.
Zach was
let me
literally
fucking
having
you,
a mental breakdown. I am just over it. But we're gonna do this thing. We're gonna do it.
We're gonna do this thing.
The quality won't be any different. Let's be real. It's gonna be shit either way.
It's, you know what? This whole hour and a half.
Yes.
Delay. Not because like we were late or anything, like just because we could not.
It's just literally technical.
You guys don't need to know. It's
it's
just some issues here.
Should be updating.
I made
and
myself
then just,
another drink.
Yeah,
before
did.
We started recording. I had to make myself a second drink.
Zachy boy's like 6 drinks in at this point.
I wish, man. Help me forget.
I want to forget everything.
Yeah.
How are you doing aside from all of that, pal?
I'm doing good. I'm actually doing really good. Amanda and I, for all of the people out there who give a shit, we went to go see Death Cab for Cutie and the Postal Service.
Hell yeah.
This
Love
weekend, and
service.
it was a fucking hell of a show.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. We had a great time. Work's been fine. Work's been really busy, actually. I'm looking forward to this conversation because this
was supposed to be your escape. I'm so sorry. I'm so fucking sorry.
About that therapy visit, dude.
Zach needed the stress relief, so he thought, let's go record a good episode of Game of Thrones, and he got an hour and a half of us trying to figure our shit out.
I need help.
You need a fucking nap is what you need.
I need a lobotomy,
You need a fucking nappy. I'm glad to hear that the concert was good. I know you have been very busy at work lately. So you know what? We'll have some fun tonight.
Yeah. How's everything going on your end, man? Everything all right?
It's great. I think that this was like 3 weeks ago now, but I think this is the first time we recorded since our trip, right? Since our camping trip.
Yeah, this is. Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah,
so
this is the first time. We've been back.
Folks that are on the Discord probably saw the pictures of Zachy and I and a couple of our buddies' camping trip. That was a load of fun. Had a blast until the trip home, which we won't talk about.
Your ass had a blast.
My butt.
My butt. Dude, wait. Did you just say, dude, my butt?
No, I was transitioning to say but, as in however, but the timing was just not fortuitous.
My butt.
Yeah, the trip home, not so much. I got very, very, very sick. Zachy boy, bless his soul, he did ferry my ass home, my extremely sick ass home. So thanks for that, pal.
Yeah.
But the trip itself was a very, very good time. And
oh my God,
Zach,
I made that really strong.
Yeah, Zach, you are gonna be fully in the bag by the time we finish this podcast.
Oh shit, dude.
Before we got on, as Zach was finishing his last drink, he made the funniest face ever and was like, "Oh, that was just straight vodka at the bottom of that glass."
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I mixed it.
I don't think you put any mixer in, my guy.
Dude, so actually, you won't care about this, but this is for the listeners.
Yeah, I don't.
Because you don't like tamarind.
Wait. Tamarind?
Yeah, well, like in Spanish, tamarindo, like the Mexican candies, like the red stuff, like the sweet chili stuff in a lot of Mexican candy.
Yeah.
So Smirnoff has this spicy tamarind vodka that is fantastic, and you can shoot just by itself if you're into that. But I have this sweetened tropical, not sponsored.
Yeah, by Smirnoff either.
Yeah. Sweetened tropical sparkling water, 0 calorie sparkling water from HEB.
Sure.
You Texans know what's up. And I just put about two shots.
Two snooters?
Shots. No, yeah, 2 shots of this spicy tamarind vodka with this tropical sparkling water, and it is very good, although I think I may have put a little bit more vodka than I needed to on this last one. Maybe actually I did need to.
I can't wait for you to be just gone by the end of this. That's going to be fun.
Anyway,
we've truly wasted enough time this evening, Zach. What are we here to talk about? Oh, that's right. You don't know because you can't see.
Yeah. No, I know. We're here to talk about what I think by a mile is the best episode of this season, from what I remember. Mind you, I've only seen this season once. We're here to talk about Game of Thrones Season 8, Episode 2, A Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
Let's do it. I am going to kick us off on this recap here. So this is not AI written, I swear, by the way. For once, I'm actually
the
legit.
world may never know.
It won't be nearly as funny. So for those of you who came for the funny AI recaps, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
this is just dumb ol' us. We begin with Jaime basically standing trial in the Great Hall at Winterfell. He tells Daenerys that Cersei lied to them about them all and has the Golden Company backing her, but he intends to fight for the living. Daenerys and Sansa don't trust Jaime, but Tyrion and Brienne speak on his behalf while Bran stays creepy. Daenerys allows Jaime to fight with them, but is furious at Tyrion and threatens to replace him as Hand. Meanwhile, Gendry is forging dragonglass weapons, and no amount of water can quench the fire between him and Arya. She really wants his weapon, if you know what I mean.
She been thinking about it.
Jaime visits Bran in the Godswood and apologizes to him. And Bran is about as normal as he possibly can be, as he's allowed to be.
Yeah.
Jaime reunites with Tyrion and they chat about Daenerys and Cersei and how they're all going to die. Jaime then moves on to Brienne and has an even more awkward conversation with her than he did with Bran. Jorah chats with Daenerys and goes to bat for Tyrion, then encourages her to make good with Sansa. They bond over making fun of how short Jon is, but when Sansa presses her about what will happen to the North when the war is over, Daenerys pulls back. Theon returns.
Pull out game strong.
Yeah. God damn it. Theon returns and Sansa is way too happy to see him. It is legend o'clock out in the Winterfell yard as our favorite people in the world, Davos and Gilly, give pep talks to villagers, and Ed and Tormund arrive safely. Tormund says the Night King's army will arrive tonight.
At the battle planning meeting, Jon says their only hope is to kill the Night King, and Bran says that he will come to kill him because he's a three-eyed raven. Theon volunteers to guard him in the Godswood, so I'm sure he'll be totally fine.
Totally fine.
Daenerys banishes Tyrion to the crypt without his supper, and Bran isn't sure if Dragonfire will kill the Night King because no one has ever tried. Tyrion wants to hear Bran's story, and Grey Worm and Missandei are going to sail away on the SS Live Forever. Are you sure this wasn't AI written?
I'm becoming an AI. I always was.
It's what you wanted to be when you're growing up. Jon, Sam, and Ed are reunited as Watchers on the Wall, and I'm so glad that you wrote this.
See,
recap.
AI wouldn't write this.
Yeah. I just love them so much.
True.
And although Scott did script that is a mutual feeling.
Yeah.
Arya spends a brief moment with Sandor and Beric, only to realize that banging hot-ass Gendry would be way more fun.
True.
Are you sure that this wasn't written by AI? Because your pacing and jokes are actually good tonight. What is happening?
Wow, thanks, pal. I don't know whether to take that as a compliment or an insult to all the other times.
Yes.
True.
Most of our other main characters gather in the hall to reminisce and contemplate imminent death. Jaime knights Brienne in a very touching scene, and the only one happier than her is Tormund. Very true. Dude, I'm...
Do you really think I had AI do this?
No, I don't. Because these are your... Like, I can tell this is your jokes. But you're actually, like...
I'm moving this shit along.
Yeah, man, you're landing on some of these.
Thanks, pal. Thanks.
Sam gives Jorah his family's Valyrian steel sword, Heartsbane, in honor of Jorah's father. Jon has been avoiding Daenerys, but she finally corners him in the crypts. Very romantic. Jon tells her about Lyanna and Rhaegar and what his true name is. Daenerys doubts him at first, but then says that he would have had the best claim to the Iron Throne. Right then, the horns sound, and the army of the dead has arrived. And that is the end of the episode.
Maybe I shouldn't put the cart before the horse here, but I'm gonna anyway.
Yeah.
I want to know right away from you, Zachy boy, because I know you originally loved this episode.
Sure.
Did it hold up for you on this watch through?
It did in many ways. There's one thing that I think makes it a little bit more... Okay, so this might be a weird concept, and maybe this is just like getting lost in...
The sauce.
Lost in the sauce, but also just like maybe just thinking about Game of Thrones too much.
We would never do that. Yeah. How dare you?
There's almost there had almost been like a mysticism of this episode to me. Because I hadn't seen it
right since the
it
first
came
time.
out.
Yeah.
And I adored it when it came out.
Yes.
And I still adore it now. But there was almost an element of this like mysticism that was lost because, I'm rewatching it. I'm re-experiencing it, and I'm experiencing it under a different light.
Also,
however,
the way we hyperanalyze the episodes in doing them for the podcast puts them in a different light for sure.
It does. And all things considered, I still absolutely adore the episode, but there definitely was, actually a good comparison is like how I have always felt so strongly about season 4, episode 10, the children being like the best episode in Game of Thrones, and putting it through a more hypercritical lens, realize it's still a great episode, but it's maybe my memory of it has superseded like objectively what it is.
I was just going to bring that up, like how we felt about the children upon this extreme examination was different.
That being said, I still think that this is I would be hard pressed to say that any other episode in this season is better than this.
Okay,
in my opinion, and I would put this still probably in like a top 10 list.
Okay,
for sure.
Interesting. All right.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So, all right, cart before the horse, asshole. Do you feel like this was just not as good as you remembered it? Or?
Yeah, you were the one that I really wanted to know. We'll just talk about it, and maybe I'll tell you at the end. Maybe. We definitely always remember to rate the episodes, so we'll do that.
Hey, and we have a
huge
shout
shouts.
out.
Yeah, huge shout out.
Yeah, so I cannot begin to express how much we appreciate all of you listeners.
True.
And sometimes you guys hit us with fun, creative things and jokes and just sweet messages, and it really is like it makes our day. But one of you, a Miss Jenna Shaw, I should probably make sure it's okay to say your name before we post this.
Has gone above and beyond the call of
above
duty.
and beyond. We received a DM the other day from you saying, hey, paraphrasing here, saying, hey, love the episode, love the take, was a lot of fun. I noticed that you guys were talking about having to go back and collect all of your episode ratings.
Right.
And it just so turns out that Miss Jenna Shaw is a literal wizard and has an Excel spreadsheet of our episode ratings along with our point differential, which is also fantastic.
Yeah. Between
also,
you and I's ratings of the episode.
Correct. But between our ratings. Also, our Who Be Thrown in list, which we do keep that, but like
turns out me doing that was pointless, I guess.
Yeah, Jenna, you're the GOAT.
That's true.
Thank you for listening and engaging, and also like that's just the coolest thing.
Yeah.
Like we just appreciate that so much. Jenna, you're fucking awesome, and you deserve the shout out so much, and we love you.
For sure, 100%. When Zach sent me that, I couldn't even believe it because I was like, what sort of a mad person would do this?
Also, yeah, you're kind of a psycho.
You're kind of a psycho, but my favorite kind of psycho. It's so great. Yeah. I was like, but I did have to have a chuckle at like, especially like season 3 there was just gaps of nothing.
Oh yeah,
where it was like
we were so consistent.
We never remembered to rate the episodes, so we might have to go back and re-rate those. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. We will get to that at the end of the episode, but I did think of that, and I was like, we have to give a shout out because that's the coolest
Scott,
thing ever.
do you need a haircut?
Why?
Your hair just looks like poofier than normal. It's kind of giving me like Kuwabara vibes, if I'm being totally honest.
If only I could be as cool as Kuwabara.
If only you could be
Maybe
as
I
cool as
could
Kuwabara.
like really poof it up for you.
Yeah, you got to like trim the sides and shave the sides a little bit and keep it up, but it is kind of giving me some
Thanks
Kuwabara
for making
vibes.
fun of my hair, bro. I appreciate it.
I wasn't making fun of it.
You were like, do you need a haircut? You condescending ass.
You don't ever grow your hair out that long.
It's not that long right now. It's really not. My hair has been much longer in the past.
Well, then let me
change
my question. Do you need to do your hair, Scott?
I fucking hate you. It's been a long day at work, my guy. Let's start with fucking drunk ass Zach. Obviously, where the episode starts with Jaime in the Great Hall. The first thing I want to say about this scene is Nikolai Coster-Waldau's facial acting
is fantastic.
Just like the way he like the subtle movements and the way he reacts to things, like especially like, man, when Brienne said the things we do for love to him, and obviously he understood what that was in reference to, just like his facial reacting and acting is consistently excellent.
He has this this slow realization that he does several times, like the like type of thing,
but it's more subtle than that.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah, right.
He doesn't turn to Brienne.
He doesn't go. He doesn't break the fourth wall. And you hear a dun
dun dun.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Good call out.
It's so good, and we call out so many great acting performances in this show, and we've sung their praises plenty. But it's his specific, like, subtle facial movements that I think are really a cut above of, like, in that area, anyone else in the show. He's fantastic.
I would agree. I would agree with that. So something that I adore about, like, the way that this episode kicks off and what we see constantly throughout this episode, and hopefully you agree, is just like a constant representation of what I've always loved about Game of Thrones. There's a constant display of character scenes, dialogue, and tension in almost every scene. Not always negative tension, some sexual tension, if you know what I'm saying. But there's so many different, like, character like dynamics that are happening in almost every scene.
Sure, definitely.
And I just love how I mean, politicking is the broader word probably, but just the interactions that these characters are having, yeah. whether it's outward or inward, whether it's said or unsaid, like, there's always something happening between characters on screen in this episode, and it's what I have always loved about Game of Thrones.
I would agree, and this episode is special in a way that this is the first time that it's like everyone that is still alive, and aside from Cersei, I think Cersei has got to be the one lone exception. Every major character in the show is here right now, right?
That's still alive, yeah.
Like, it's everyone, so we're getting to see, like you said, just a lot of interactions, a lot of, like, characters that don't normally, interact or are interacting again for the first time in a very long time. So yes, I would say that is a big strength of this episode, is that just, like, it's all our faves here in this one place with, impending doom, breathing down their necks, that just makes for some very interesting situations.
And to finish off that thought, it also has a way of making me care about characters that I don't otherwise care about. And the first example shows itself, basically immediately, because, you all know, I know that many of you guys are very big Brienne fans, which is fine. Brienne's a good character. She's just not my favorite. I've never been totally, bought into Brienne's character. But even just, like, her standing up, the way that she stands up for Jaime in this scene, loved it. It's short, it's sweet, it's impactful, doesn't seem forced. It's just fantastic.
I agree. Yeah. I think the way she stands up for him here is like you said, everything impactful and everything. This scene is great.
Johnny Boy giving Danny the cold shoulder, being conflicted about banging his auntie.
His ass does not want to talk to her at all.
Playing hard to get.
Can't really blame him, to be honest. That has to be so many emotions and thoughts running through his head at the moment.
Dude, growing up, when Amanda and I were younger, I mean, we have been together for forever, so
we're young.
Oh, great, dude. Love that. Sing it.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
Continue. My family went through that whole, I'm sure everybody's family does this. They go through the phase of, like, let's do the ancestry.com thing and, like, learn about our heritage or learn about our, whatever.
Sure.
Amanda and I were so afraid, mostly Amanda, but we were afraid of doing that because we're like, dude, we could be related,
what
man.
If we're related?
Like, that could be just not a fun conversation or experience. Let's just, like, not. Let's not do this.
Listen.
We both grew up in the same town, right? Like, we lived down the road from each other. There was even this one time, I have an Aunt Carmen and Uncle Louie who lives down in the lower valley of El Paso, Texas. And Amanda also has an Aunt Carmen and Uncle Louie who lives in the lower valley.
Shut
and there
the
was a
hell
time
up.
where she was like, I'm sorry, what?
Shut the hell up. That is literally
swear.
the plot of a Community episode.
Is it really?
Yes. They're
That's so
at
good.
this couple's wedding and they find out like great aunt Margaret is both of their great aunt Margaret.
Oh my God. Yeah. Anyway, so she's always been terrified of it.
That's funny.
I can only imagine how Johnny Boy feels.
Seriously, yeah, that's like 10 times what John is going through right now.
Fucking Johnny White Walker.
Yeah, so Daenerys is pissed at Tyrion. I think valid. I think honestly she probably should have been more pissed at him earlier. Like this is like his 60th fuck up. But
one of Scott's comments when we saw the Excel fucking madman sheet from Miss Jenna was that we think too similarly.
Yeah. The differential column was just not
it's like
very
0.5. Yeah, my note for this scene, Scott,
oh no,
is literally Dany getting, I'm reading this verbatim, by the way. Dany getting pissed at Tyrion is so warranted, man. Tyrion has been so low on the totem pole for ages now. Jeez.
Yeah, truly.
Yeah.
Anyway, then we get, do you have anything else about that first scene?
No.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of, you mentioned the perhaps sexual tension earlier. This scene, Gendry and Arya, I mean, that's what this entire scene is.
Oh, yeah.
It serves no other purpose.
I mean, other than her getting a weapon.
No,
but
she doesn't even get it. She just throws some daggers and makes Gendry super wet, and then, that's the end of that.
Gendry do be looking pretty good, man. Dude, Gendry be looking fucking fire.
I didn't call him
fire.
hot-ass Gendry for nothing in this recap.
Okay, fair enough. Also, like, there's something about, like, fantasy or, like, medieval get-ups where, like, they've got the shirt tucked in, but it's still really loose, and it's cut low, and it's, like, got the rolled... You know what I'm talking about?
I think I know it.
Like basically his outfit is what I'm talking about. What I'm literally describing.
He's just a big sweaty dude hammering away in the forest.
Yeah,
come on.
Yeah, man. Drop the hammer, buddy. Let's go.
No, keep the hammer, buddy.
Oh. Yeah, break my kneecaps, Gendry. I'm into that.
I really liked this Jaime and Brienne scene.
I loved this scene.
I
dude.
really like it. Yeah, I like how I just like the fact that Jaime takes the initiative to go apologize to him. I mean, obviously, he has some ulterior motive because he does ask Bran specifically, like, why didn't you tell them? And then what about after we fight the dead and blah, blah. So he's trying to see if he's going to die very soon. Although he probably knows he is. But it's just a very solid scene. And like I said, this is about as normal as Bran is capable of being.
Right.
And I did genuinely like this interaction.
It's cool because this conversation doesn't just deploy mysticism from Bran, it deploys logic.
Yeah.
Which does humanize his character a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's kind of what you're saying. Like, he's like, there's no point in bringing this up. Right. Like, you're better to us alive than not, basically.
Exactly.
And there is also still like the mystique of like, you would still be that man if you hadn't pushed me off.
Right.
Like, which I kind of like that. Like, I like the subtle, like, fortune telly vibes.
Yeah.
I don't like the in your face, like, shit that we kind of have gotten from Bran. Always. So yeah. Good scene.
I just think it's good how Bran, pretty much acknowledges, like, listen, it was kind of a necessary thing for both of them. Like, Bran wouldn't be where he is as the three-eyed raven, if Jaime hadn't pushed him out that window. And Jaime has obviously changed a shit ton since that person as well. So,
yes.
It's all about character growth and change at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So, what's next here?
Tyrion and Jaime.
Right.
And I've got to tell you, man, there's a very good quote in this conversation.
Which is that one?
That just cuts, dude. It's so good. So they're Jaime and Tyrion are talking as they're walking up the ramparts, battlements. And Jaime, I'm paraphrasing. I don't remember exactly what Jaime's part of it is, but he says something like I didn't know what she was or what she'd do or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
And Tyrion turns and looks him dead in the face and is like extremely like what am I trying to say? Like he's just very serious about it. Like very dark almost, and he's like, you have always known what she is, but you chose to love her anyway or something like that.
Yeah.
And dude, it just hits, man. Yeah. It's also a good bit of breadcrumbs, I think.
Oh, for
Jaime.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a good line, good, very, very short interaction that cuts deep and makes you question a character's growth and a character's arc, which I think that those are just like really compelling lines to have. Like when it makes you think about a character like that. It's great.
I agree. I would agree. It's not a super long conversation that they have, but I mean, we've said it time and time again. Anytime these two are on screen together, it's generally going to be great.
Yeah.
I love how proud, like genuinely proud of Pod Brienne is. When he's like fighting, like her old hard ass over here is like trying not to show it, but she's like smiling as he's beating that dumbass.
And she's like, he could be better.
Right, yeah. It's very wholesome. And there's not a lot of wholesome in this show, generally speaking. And I don't like, I like Pod, but he's not like one of my favorite characters. And I don't love Brienne. But this is just a very wholesome moment, and I had to call it out. Because she's just so proud of him. He's come a long way.
It is further cementing my point about just consistent character moments. Albeit they are very quick. So the pace is a little fast.
Sure.
As this episode moves through, but like virtually every scene is like just pouring in like the character cup, like just getting a little bit more, and it's like you just like it. It's good.
I will say this Brienne moment is for me kind of immediately undermined because I did not like the interaction between her and Jaime, like at all.
Her and Jaime?
Yes. Like where they start to talk and then she's like,
what are you doing?
You haven't gone this long in a conversation without insulting me. And that's not true. Like the last time they talked at River Run, they were like perfectly civil and like very,
I agree,
relaxed and like had a very good conversation as I recall.
What this is like them not knowing how to write.
Yeah. This reunion.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. I did not like this.
It's weird. It didn't stand out as like an issue to me, but that's a good call out. It's not great.
Let's see. Oh yeah, Jorah and Daenerys next. Listen, shouts to Jorah for sticking up for Tyrion.
I hate Jorah, and this scene was very good.
Tell us how you really feel, though.
Dude, Jorah sucks, man.
I mean, yeah, listen, I
like him more in this episode because he does have some good scenes.
He has
but
some
like,
solid scenes.
This is... Jesus, man, I can't gather my thoughts.
I wonder why.
This drinky is...
Your tamarind.
We talked about this with Daenerys and Jon, like having more intimate reactions and conversations with people.
Yeah.
And her character needing that to build a more likable, believable character. And I think that this is a good example of it.
That's a good call.
She's still in opposition with somebody, which is very on brand for her.
True.
But it's a good character moment for Jorah, and it's a good scene for Daenerys. And I quite like her being surprised and being like, no, you're right. You know, like it's sinking in, and it cutting straight to her taking his advice even further and
about the Sansa thing.
Yeah, and trying to make amends with Sansa.
Yeah, honestly, I think that's of like the two bits of advice he gives her here. I think that is honestly the more honestly real and important advice that she needs to follow.
Yeah, hey, Tyrion's a fucking mastermind is not good advice. But
Jorah, listen, I mean, have you seen
have
his
you
track
seen the
record
last
lately?
3 seasons, dude?
Have you seen who be thrown in his ass is not on it lately,
dude?
And this scene with Sansa, with Daenerys and Sansa, I mean, is like going so well. They have this good little chuckle about Jon's short ass, which I loved. And then I have to give major props to Sansa because she has made such a huge turnaround from where she was early in the show. And we've obviously touched on this, but not allowing herself to just get caught up in the, oh, haha, teehee, we're friends now. But what about when this is over?
This, dude, this is how I feel with you saying that. Yes.
So you have this in your notes as well?
It's in my notes, dude. It's in my notes.
We're two fucking the same person.
Dude, it's so good, though, because...
It is good.
Because you see Daenerys, who's not a tactful politician. She doesn't have practice with it. No. All she has practice with is overpowering her opposition, which is fine. That's her character. And we have Cersei, Jesus, Sansa, who has learned from the best, like Cersei, to take what's given to her, process it, and then work with it, right?
Correct.
And this scene works well. It's believable. Hey, we can be on the same page. And then she just politics her right back and is like, I'm not afraid of you. I'm going to come at you directly. Like, we are two powerful women who care about, like, our people and who care about, like, our status. Yes. And she just attacks it head on, and I fucking adore it.
It's so good.
The cherry on top for me, too, is how fucking good Sansa looks in this scene, dude. She looks so good, dude. I cannot get over it.
I don't, and this is, I spoke about this before, but she needs a new outfit. I'm so done with the blacks.
I don't know, man. The very, very fair complected red hair with an all black, like basically leather outfit has got me boiling. Okay. I am about to tip, dude.
I like it, but it's just we've seen that same outfit for like
man. All she needs is a whip in her hand,
my
dude.
God.
And just whoosh,
dude. Before you went off on that tirade,
you're
100% right.
Now.
I'm not acknowledging you. I love how Sansa is just like, yeah, I'll laugh with you. We can be friends. We can have a little girly talk. But Jen just snaps right immediately back to, but hey, this is what is actually important. What about the North? What about this?
Yeah.
Because that is what is truly important to me. That is what my chief concern is. And I need to know what your intentions are. And she does not back down.
Yes.
And that's great.
100%.
It's so good.
It's a very good scene. And such a shining character moment for Sansa.
I 100% agree. This is like exhibit A of, I mean, it's not obviously the first time we've seen from her, but this is like such a prime example of Sansa's development through the series.
Yes.
Like Sansa from season 1 doing something like this. Are you fucking kidding me?
No. And I think what's really cool too is like, it seems so obvious in the here and now that like these two characters would need to have a scene like this.
Sure.
But you know, you back it up, 3 or 4 seasons, thinking about Daenerys coming to Westeros and then, potentially being in alliance or opposing the North. Like, you don't really picture the dynamic that these two can have on screen with each other. And this episode or this storyline that brings it to us really just delivers on a very powerful meeting of like two very strong characters, I think.
Yeah.
It's great.
I mean,
man.
They both started out so timid. And now here they are in the final season, like locking horns, over this thing, and neither of them backing
touching
down.
tips.
Jesus Christ, Zach.
Fucking docking or something.
And then Sansa, again, not acknowledging you. They're both women.
I quit. Hey, women can dock.
No, my God. Sansa's way too happy to see Theon, and I don't like it. Why is...
dude, you're letting your bias...
I know.
Corrupt you too much. My notes... Okay, here's where we differ.
Theon saved her one time, and
it doesn't
now
matter,
she's
dude.
like...
It was a very emotional and intimate moment. Both of them were extremely vulnerable. You're gonna stick with somebody during that, okay?
All right.
That's just the truth.
All right, fine. I'm over it.
Good. I'm glad.
You sound very glad.
My notes for this scene, I'm just going to railroad you here for a second. I'm sorry for taking over.
Boy, yeah, hit me.
Dude, even Theon. Who fucking cares about Theon? But,
not me.
Quote, I want to fight for Winterfell, Lady Sansa, if you'll have me. Really hit home. And seeing Sansa's reaction, that felt good. That was a good scene with a character that I don't give a fuck about.
If you say so, pal.
I do say so,
Okay,
and I don't
that's
think
fine. I don't
think anybody who's not a dipshit like you would disagree.
I could have cared less.
Okay,
couldn't.
Is it a bad scene, Scott? That's what.
No, it's fine.
You just don't care about the character.
Again, they shared a very important moment where he saved her, and that was all well and good and great. She's acting like this. She acts like this is her father come back from the dead. She's so happy to see him. I don't like the way that you're sucking on that straw. That is making me very uncomfortable. Anyway, where were we?
Maybe the most nostalgic scene in this episode.
No, not quite to that one yet.
Oh, okay.
Real quick, we get the Davos and Gilly. Which is just which is
great
them
scene.
Being awesome and doing what they do, which is give great pep talks generally.
Extremely ominous though. Like, am I right?
Listen,
this. I'll be down in the crypt stand or whatever the fuck she says.
The amount of times that characters in this episode say it'll be safe down in the crypts and don't stop and take a second to think about that is like, come on.
It's an episode of Scooby-Doo,
It
dude.
is truly like, who could a villain be? Fucking standing right behind their asses.
I'm so glad you called that out.
Yeah,
it's so fucking funny, dude.
It's so ridiculous. You'll be safe in the crypts might as well be the fucking... We could have had that as the entire recap of this episode.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now what you were talking about, which is my favorite scene of the episode, even though it's very quick.
It's very quick.
But it's perfect.
It just hits the nostalgia bone for me, dude. It's like,
oh my God.
It hits it, man.
Is it Ed that says, it's Ed that says, and now our watch begins, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he says it. And then, he says that we're fucked, and then Sam goes, calling you fucked wouldn't be accurate.
Dude.
Boom!
Yeah.
Bitch.
Sam with the fucking mic
Sam
drop
the
of the
Slayer,
century.
dude.
And what was even better, I think, is John's reaction to that, because even John just kind of looks at it, like, oh.
He's like...
Yeah. Poor fucking Ed.
It's so good, dude. I love
Ed's
it.
credit, because he's the legend that he is, he takes that burn very well. Like, he just kind of accepts it. He holds that, and it's just like, Sam,
he says,
the
like, Sam the Slayer and the
Slayer.
Lady Killer or something like that.
Yeah.
Or like,
as if we needed another sign the world was ending or something like that. It's
truly great.
It's so good. I love those three so much.
Okay, the joke part about it aside, them talking about Pip and Gren.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Oh,
my soul,
Scott,
my
dude,
heart.
Like, I know you know, Scott, because you and I talk about it, and you and I basically are joined at the tip. But for everybody else, like, if it was not abundantly clear how much we care about these characters back in season 4,
Go back and listen to us rant and rave about one of the best 2 to 3-ish episodes of the entire fucking series.
It is absolutely unreal, the amount of emotion that those not even B characters, I mean, we're talking C or D characters
truly
made us feel. And them to bring it up here in this very nostalgic scene for me really cut deep.
God, Watchers on the Wall is
it's Watchers on the Wall is
fucking perfection.
Fucking perfect.
Oh yeah.
So about that giant's milk?
And then
is that not next? I don't know where we're at.
Tormund Tormund tells them that the Night King is going to be there.
Oh, right.
Tonight.
He interrupted the best fucking reunion, that piece of shit, by the way.
Yeah.
John's walking up like,
come on, Tormund.
My fucking guy.
My guy.
Dollar his head. And then, yeah.
Then we have the battle planning meeting.
Right.
My favorite part of this scene is my guy Sam just continues to knock it out of the park. Bran pipes up and is like, he'll come for me. And Sam just goes, why? It's so fucking good.
Yeah.
I'm like, of all people, Sam should know, like, Bran's kind of important and has big powers.
Uh-huh.
But even Sam is still like, fucking why, though?
It's so funny. Like, I can't remember where I saw or read this, but somebody made the comparison that, like, Sam questioning all the right things always is like him being the person that's reading the book of the Game of Thrones series, and everybody else is just living in it. Like they're just here for the ride. And
that's
he's like,
a good call out. That's a very good call out.
It's so good, dude. I love it.
That is
which is really funny because do you remember back before the show was done, there was this like extremely loose theory. It was just kind of a fun theory. I don't think anybody ever actually thought it was real, but just a fun theory that everything that we're seeing is Sam
like
reading
the book.
Reading the book at the Citadel.
Yeah.
Which I think is kind of cool, and that's probably where this thought derived from. But yeah, it's just a cool. Sam's just the best.
Sam is the best. I like that you called that out. He 99 times out of 100 is kind of the voice of reason, like that. Hey, but why is there no smell with the dead people? And like just like so many times throughout the series. Kind of dropping the ball though, I will say again. He jumps on the whole "you'll be safe in the crypts" train though, so he's not infallible.
Yeah, true.
Anyway, Theon's gonna guard Bran, so I'm glad they got their top men on, guarding our fucking guy Bran here, and they're all just like, okay.
They're like, yeah, dude, you're definitely the best of us.
Anyway, I think John was thinking like, well, we need meat for the grinder for the Night King. So sure, Theon, you go do it, man.
So it's basically one step above like fodder. He's like, you'll do. Yeah,
you'll do. You'll do fine. You'll buy us some time while I come in hot to save the day or something, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Is what he's thinking. Bran borrowing a page from my guy Dr. Hirolook's book. Did you catch this? I feel like this is a direct One Piece reference almost. It's not, I know. But
what does he say? He
said basically the famous One Piece quote is, when does a man die? It's when he's forgotten.
Oh.
And that's effectively what Bran says here too.
Speaking of One Piece, Scott.
Oh my God.
We need to do another one of these, but only about One Piece because
True. We probably shouldn't do that now because everyone will click off.
I just want to talk about it.
I know, buddy. We will soon.
I just want to talk. If there are any of you who are still listening who listened back when Scott and I did One Piece, boy, do we need to talk. And you guys need to fucking DM us and let us know because holy fuck, shit is so real right now.
And does Zach from back then need to be ashamed of himself for being so flippant.
He was just a young lad, okay?
He was a young, ignorant lad. True.
Yeah.
Truly
Dude, it's so good, dude.
Yes, it is.
It's so good.
Anyway, Tyrion's going to the crypt too.
Wait. I have been on the verge of tears for the last 8 episodes straight in One Piece, bro. It is absurd, dude. I'm just putting that out there, guys. It's that good, and Scotty and I will talk about it.
He's
soon.
not wrong. It is, in fact, that good. It's the greatest story ever told. Some might say. I would say that. Anyway,
it might be, dude.
It is. Spoiler alert. Anyway, everyone's going to the crypt because it's going to be super safe. What do you have to say about this whole thing?
About what? We've already talked about
the
this.
whole battle plan. You're good there? Nothing else about the battle planning?
I mean, I think that it's given the fact that they're super outnumbered, I think that them trying to target the Night King is probably the only viable solution.
Yeah. Have they straight up acknowledged? I don't remember if they said this or is Jon intending to ride the other dragon? Is that just their full on plan, or have they really said?
They haven't said it.
Okay, I couldn't remember. Anyway, Tyrion
Oh, you know what? Because you're asking, I just thought of this. I do think it's very stupid that they're they got these dragons up north.
Yeah.
To help fight this fight, and they intend to use them to protect Bran.
Well, no, didn't they say they? Okay,
they said
now I can't remember. They couldn't. They're saying too close to Bran because they want to draw in the Night King, right?
Well, it was a back and forth. So basically, it was the dragons will help with this, and then I think it's Jon that says, well, we don't want the dragons too far away because
we can't protect Bran.
We can't protect Bran. Yeah, and then somebody else combats him with well, but then he won't feel safe to
No worries, mate. Theon's got that on lock.
Yeah, dude. Dude, he wouldn't dare approach with Theon there.
Yeah, you've got dragons fighting things that can only be killed by fire. You need them out there just spitting all the hot fire.
Yeah. Yeah.
Breathing
Absolutely.
dragon fire inside of Winterfell to try and protect Bran. That ain't it.
But try doing that in the crypts first, though.
True. Maybe that's what they should have done to start with.
Yeah. We're getting a little ahead of ourselves.
We really are. Tyrion wants to hear Bran's story, which makes me think of something that happens in a later episode and kind of makes me chuckle to myself, but I'll just let that lay.
Mm-hmm.
I think you know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
What really makes me laugh is just the most Game of Thrones trope that there's ever been is these two characters talking about how happy they're going to be and how I'll see you tomorrow and we're going to live happily ever after. I honestly do not remember fully, and I'm being fully honest here because my memory is the shit, who lives and who dies in these upcoming episodes.
Yeah.
But
you're talking about Missandei and Grey Worm?
I'm talking about Missandei and Grey Worm here.
Yeah.
Or just honestly most characters in general. I was trying to think as all these things were happening. I was like, does that person survive this battle? Does this person survive this battle? Just knowing what I know of Game of Thrones, one and or both of them is super dying. Soon. Very soon is my
Well, I mean,
feeling.
There's only 6 episodes left, so
there's less than that.
4 episodes left.
Do you know how counting works?
I don't know.
Okay. We jumped way ahead. This is.
I want to
actually
talk
what
about
John's
Arya
saying.
and
Okay, yeah, hit me.
and the Hound.
Yeah, hit me.
So, well, what I wanted to talk about was I wanted to ask you, how do you like their reunion 2.0?
I liked this one a lot better than the first one.
A lot better.
A
Yes,
lot
okay.
better. Yes.
Very good. And I also love, I almost called him Barristan.
Barrick, yeah.
Showing up, kind of killing it.
Killing the mood.
Killing the mood, and then Arya being like, well, I'm fucking out of here.
She's just like, peace.
Yeah.
And she even tells them both to their faces, I'm not spending my last night with you two miserable old men, or something to that effect.
Yes,
and I'm just
yes. But
legend
what really,
behavior, Arya.
What really hits in this scene, and I don't know if maybe it's just me. Like I feel like maybe I'm looking to feel something in this episode.
No. If you're talking about the line, I think you're talking about.
Okay. So the Hound says, "You never used to shut up now, and you're just sitting there like a mute." And then they go back and forth a little bit. He has a very incredulous look on his face, by the way, which I adore when he says, he's like, like you never used to shut up. Now you're just sitting there like a mute. Yeah. Anyway,
and
they go
he
back
like
and
this
forth.
whole time. Hold on, I think this is important. This whole time, he's kind of got like his back half turned to her.
Mm-hmm.
He's like not even looking at her. He's like barely acknowledging her until a specific point.
And he says, or she says, she's asking him, "Why are you here?"
Yes.
They talk about that for a second, and she says, "When was the last time you fought for anyone but yourself?" And he finally turns to her. Thank you for calling that out, by the way. He finally turns to her, and he says, "I fought for you, didn't I?" And oh boy, does that fucking hurt and feel good at the same time. It hurts so good.
That was the line, yeah, for sure. Because like I said, I think it's very important. He finally turns around, looks her in the eye, and says, "I fought for you, didn't I?" And it's just like, oh, Sandor.
Boy. Sandor and Arya's relationship is unmatched, dude.
So
their on-screen chemistry is just.
And then it's so on brand for after that extremely like tender, heartfelt moment, like legit moment. Their interaction actually ends with her just insulting him and like leaving him sitting there in the cold. It's
something that I've never super thought about. I mean, maybe I have, but like, I like that Arya doesn't really say anything. Like she just kind of sits in that for a second, and it just gives it a second to sink in and breathe, which is good for the viewer, but it's also, I think, a very accurate like experience for the character as well. For man, what a piece of dialogue!
What a line.
I loved that interaction.
100%. Then we get I think the crux. Well, the of this episode, at least the where the title comes from and everything.
Well, no, then Arya goes the fuck Gendry.
So, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Best part of this scene is she's getting undressed and she's like, "I'm not the red woman. Take your own bloody pants off."
That's what I was gonna say. That
fucking get it, Arya.
That
dude.
is absolutely the standout of this scene. Is her just take your own bloody pants off.
I fucking love it.
It's very funny.
Do you recall when this episode came out? Like the masses were so weirded out because everybody just still pictures Arya as like this young. I mean, she is a younger girl, obviously, but like, I mean, she like for all intents and purposes, like she is an adult. Like she is like this show has aged years.
Right.
She's not a child anymore.
I will say I understand that feeling though, because we have watched her grow up from an actual child. So I understand that feeling.
But I guess what I'm saying is like people were kind of up in arms. Do you remember this sentiment? Like people were like, "This is not right." Like she's still a child, and it's like she's not.
She's
though.
not.
Like,
she's an adult.
She's a young woman. Like she's.
Yeah, I do remember that. Like, listen, I understand the sentiment behind it, but there's no reason to get up in arms about it.
Yeah,
that's the difference.
And I thought it was, despite it being kind of a funny interaction and fun interaction, I kind of I love it for Arya's character. Like she's very like, no, I kind of want to do this, and I'm gonna take charge of it and fucking do it. It's very on brand for her.
I like it for both of them because it's like, listen, we're probably gonna die. I'm hot, you're hot. We like each other. What's not to? Let's just fucking do this shit. And it's just like, hell yeah, get it,
absolutely. Docking, am I right?
Are you getting paid per mention of docking or something? Do you get like $1 every time you
got that
mention
PPM,
docking
dude?
By big docking?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Big brother docking.
Big brother docking. Okay. This is your episode. This is your big thing. Tell me about the scene.
I don't like the way that you're saying that.
I talk plenty on these fucking episodes. I want your drunk ass to tell me what happens.
I feel like I haven't shut up since we started this.
You haven't.
episode,
You've only
totally
not shut up
honest.
about docking.
Okay, fair. Okay, yeah. I mean, look. Okay, so actually, even before the Brienne part, I really like how these characters all just kind of stumble into each other and be like
my
this,
guy Davos is just like, I just want to warm my ass. Like,
yeah.
I'm just here for a warm ass.
I'm trying to singe these fucking booty hairs, dude.
I'm trying to get some warm cheeks, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I like that it's just this like hodgepodge, like they kind of stumble in, and they are just all such pivotal characters in this show that like we never get to really experience this type of.
I'm sorry to cut you off. This is how, but I just had this thought as you were saying this. This is how you do a situation like this. We talked about how like forced and awkward and not great, like when they got the band together to go beyond the wall.
Yes.
Like all that, those interactions were.
Mm-hmm.
This is how you do a scene like this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Good call out.
Yeah.
It feels natural.
Mm-hmm.
But it also effectively delivers the trope of like the calm before the storm.
Yep.
Makes you feel a lot. It makes you buy into these characters a lot with the unexpected of like who's dying in the next episode or two. You know, like it really effectively does that.
Yes.
It allows space for each of these characters except for one to grow and contribute in a meaningful way, except for one. I hate Tormund in this scene. Like I despise Tormund.
Okay, yeah.
His whole like I don't have a problem with him having an interest in Brienne, but it's turned into a bit that unfortunately
diminishes his character.
Kills the mood of this particular scene. Is my opinion.
I would agree. I'm
all right with the chuckle, but I don't know.
I kind of liked his whole telling the story of, you want to know why they call me Giant Spain?
Yeah, no, that's fine. I'm talking about the whole him and Brienne thing.
Yes, okay, all right. I just wanted to differentiate that because
I love that. Like,
you want to know him walking in and just being like, "Hey, want to know why they call me Giant Spain?" Is like that's on brand for him and is like very funny.
What I especially liked and that actually worked wasn't just him making a silly comment about Brienne. Was he comes in, approaches her, sees that she's talking with Jaime, and is like, want to know why they call me Giant Spain? You know, it's almost like a flex, right?
Yes.
He's almost
Sure.
peacocking.
Yes.
Which I think is the right way to do this bit.
Yes.
So anyway, whatever. I digress, man. Like that's not the point of this. I thought that this was a masterclass scene, Scott. Like I love almost every single aspect of it, even characters that I haven't been super in love with recently, like Tyrion is a good example of this. Has a really great contribution to this. But what is truly wild is how little I care for Brienne and how much it like chokes me up to see her like smile crying after he knights her.
Yeah.
And then the best part, in my opinion, is the music that kicks in while Jaime is like, knighting her.
Oh, okay.
And like reciting the words.
Sure.
It works really well and it builds really well. And I feel like you're like waiting for me to finish saying all this so you can be like, no, I hated this scene.
No. It's I don't think I loved it quite as much as you did. It's a very good scene. I think, my only holdups with it is just that, like, we talked about the little stuff with Tormund, but I just don't love Brienne enough to like for it to really get me. Like, it still gets me a little bit because this is also, not to take away anything from Brienne, but this is also a big moment for Jaime as well, because even her just acknowledging him as, a true knight, like someone who is worthy to knight her, I think is big for his character as well.
Yeah.
But honestly, they've, she's felt that way about his honor kind of being restored for a long time.
Yeah,
anyway,
look, both can be true, but like it is Brienne's scene. Like this
for
is
sure.
This is Brienne's scene. Like, albeit I haven't really been hugely invested in her arc.
Mm-hmm.
So for those of you who are, I can only imagine how much more momentous this scene is for you.
Sure.
But even as somebody who doesn't really care about her arc, but I also am a human being and I'm capable of empathy.
Okay, that was a fucking uncalled for shot.
I'm not
this fucking AI over here that wrote the recap.
If you felt called out because of that, then you earned it. Because I'm just speaking candidly here.
Maybe that's a me thing.
I'm capable of empathy.
Uh-huh.
And it really kind of tugs at me, man. Like just seeing her so almost like childlike, just in bliss, like just so happy and appreciative and thankful is like if I saw a random person on the side of the road like having this type of experience where they're just that happy, like it would move me in some way. Like it was just so pure and beautiful to watch, honestly. And then also the fact that it's Nikolai Coster-Waldau, like just working it as well. It just worked, man. In every single aspect, it really worked for me.
You know what's so funny about you specifically saying that? I have empathy. Is
What?
You and I literally just like 2 days ago, completely unrelated to this, had a conversation about how I am incapable of having empathy for anything or anyone that I do not already like or care about.
Yeah.
Like, we literally just had that whole conversation, and now here you are, here your ass is. I'm so not intentionally calling me out. Like, oh, I have empathy for, even characters I don't like, for just, human beings in general. So fuck you, Zachary.
Okay. Well, talk to your therapist about that one, pal.
I won't. I refuse. There is no therapy in the world that can cure what ails me. Listen, it's a good scene. Even as someone who doesn't care much about Brienne, like it's very touching. Just her joy, like you said, that cry smile. It's more emotion than you get from Brienne basically ever. So that's good.
Yeah. It's the most vulnerable that we ever see her. Like,
yeah.
It really. I mean, I don't know how else to say it, man. That scene moves me. For sure.
I want to touch on real quick. When and why does Pod look like he's like 5 years older and like 5 times hotter this season? When did that happen? Did you notice this?
I think it's a confidence thing, man.
Also, he went to singing school and can fucking get it. Also,
yeah, dude. So
that's what I thought you were talking about. That song kicked ass.
Yeah, I mean, it gives off some very Edge of Night from Return of the King.
I was going to say,
for me,
Lord of the Rings
like,
vibe. Yeah.
Absolutely gives off that vibe to me. Yeah, he's the GOAT. Very great song.
I think it's his haircut. Great. He looks so hot.
It is, and he has the stubble too.
Yeah, that helps. Yeah.
He's looking good.
Last thing,
if we're off of this like little around the hearth scene, I think we need to talk about Sam and Jorah.
Oh, right. I almost forgot about that. Yes, not the last thing.
Yes, because this Sam and Jorah scene also moves me.
It's good. You love Jorah. You have empathy for Jorah.
I hate you so much. The matter-of-fact tone. You love Jorah. You have empathy.
It's true.
I hate you so much, dude.
Went through this.
Why are we friends?
I don't
I do love Sam. Yeah, man, Sam giving up Heartsbane in the name of Jor.
Yeah.
When he said, truly,
For a
I mean
second
this
there,
again.
I thought you were just drunk slurring Jorah's name before I remembered that his dad's name.
You fuck ass, dude.
Jor.
When Sam, I feel like I've said this like 4 times this episode, but man, when Sam says, "Your father taught me how to be a man,
Yeah.
how to do what's right. This is right," made me very emotional.
I think Sam has a date with a Who Be Thrown in list this episode.
I would 100% agree. By the way,
Yeah. It's a good moment.
It is a truly.
It's also,
moment.
I just love how Sam is, like, for all the bravado he showed with Jon and Ed when he's talking about, I killed a White. Well, you all seem to forget that I was the first one to kill a White Walker, and I killed Thens, and Ed's like, Then, and like that whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
He also is very self-aware and understands, like, I can't do much with this fancy ass sword.
Yeah.
Let me give it to someone who can do some real good with it.
Yeah. Which he chooses an old fuck, but all right. Why not give it to like the Hound or something?
But I mean, there's more to it than that. There's a very.
I just talked about how fucking meaningful this was. I get it, Scott, but I'm just saying, like, this guy.
If he tried to give it to Sandor would be like, "This is a sword for pansies," or something like that.
What truly fucking, like, this is so off topic, but also on topic.
I can't wait.
I constantly see these like Twitter lists and like what fighter would you choose to protect you? Like, that type of shit. Yeah. And sometimes I see Jorah on this list and I'm like, what are we doing here, guys? Like, did you guys watch only season 1? Is that what happened?
Yeah, no, I think you've made this point before that you don't think Jorah's like a fighter at all.
He's just like, he's a good fighter.
He did get his ass kicked in hand to hand when they went into the Dothraki city. Yeah. And what's his name had to save him.
Yeah, he totally did.
Yeah.
He's an above average sword fighter in full plate, in full armor.
Yeah.
He's
got a Valyrian steel sword now, so he jumps up a notch.
So dude.
Jon and Daenerys, let's wrap this shit up. Holy shit.
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
This is just, I feel for Jon, because how do you begin to go about having this conversation? Hey, so I know we've been going at it pretty hot and heavy recently, but
look at my dead mom.
Turns out you're my aunt.
And also look at my dead mom.
Also look at my Also, I outrank you now. Whoopsie.
Yeah, it's super weird.
Listen, we joke, but this is like, I don't think they could have done this much better, because it's just Jon kind of just gets straight to it.
Yeah.
Daenerys goes into denial mode first.
Right. If you can recall how I was kind of not super on board with Jon receiving this information in the crypts, but like from Sam.
Yeah, you're a fool.
How I didn't love, like, I think I just wanted more, and I didn't love the way that the information was delivered. I felt the opposite of that here.
Interesting.
Like, between two friends, I guess I think I was just expecting like Sam to have a more tactful conversation, a more like honest and thoughtful conversation with Jon, I think is maybe what I was looking for. That's probably the best way to condense my thoughts there. But here, it's between two characters who are so conflicted right now.
Sure.
On multiple levels, like political levels, and also like this weird like romantic thing that's happening. So yeah, it was, I think that this, I don't know, for me it just worked, like the blat that happened, right? Like how it just kind of just all poured out. Yeah, I liked this scene. I mean, I didn't think it was like phenomenal, but
Right.
I thought it was good. I thought that like it was believable. I liked how it happened.
Yeah, I think this is very effective dramatic tension to doing it right here and them not being able to finish this conversation because now they have other problems. I think that setting it right then and there is also just good because it's just like, well, now what? Even if they survive this battle, there are still stakes, big stakes between Jon and Daenerys, and I think that's an interesting way to frame this.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, obviously we don't get much resolution here. There's no resolution basically, and the Army of the Dead is here.
Yeah,
that's pretty much it.
The last thing I need to say about this episode, man, is Florence and the Machine's arrangement of Jenny of Oldstown as the outro credits roll.
Was that the outro?
Is truly gorgeous. It is.
I don't think I listened to it.
I love it. You need to.
Okay.
It is very good.
Is it better than Pod singing?
Well, I mean, I think Pod's situation leans
on the moment.
I feel like that's what I was saying. I feel like you're maybe asking as a joke, but like honest answer, the scene definitely helps elevate it. But like Florence and the Machine's like full rendition of this is very, very good.
Okay, cool. I'll check that out. Any other thoughts before we jump to the list? Who'll be thrown in?
No, I don't think so. I think that we do owe a very brief, friendly heads up that this section of our episode might be a little
just slightly scuffed.
I think I'm still capable of taking care of this the right way, but some of those technical difficulties that we mentioned at the top of the episode have to do with me being able to see our display that you guys are all seeing and watching.
Hopefully.
So I am, So I am hoping that I'm able.
Shit if none of this was working.
I know, right? So I am hoping I'm able to effectively keep a running list of who we're nominating. I think it should be fine, but just a friendly heads up.
The audio listeners do it every week, so now you just have to do it. Zachy Boy is flying blind here. Where we last left off. Did I say that right?
Yeah, sure.
Where we last left off at the end of Season 8, Episode 1, Sam had taken the top spot where his ass can stay. No, I'm kidding. Jon was at 2, Arya was at 3, Sansa was at 4, and Daenerys was at 5. Boy, the Starks were hitting hard that episode. Let's pull them down for now. Like I said, I think probably all these have a case to stay, if nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
But I think at least several will be knocked off because there are some other strong performances. Zach, who do you want to nominate? Who do you think not of those 5 should definitely make this list?
Well, I mean, I think Brienne needs to be in here.
I think Brienne of Tarth definitely has to probably make this list. Please tell me I have her. Oh, God. Has she never made the list?
Maybe I don't know if it's my favorite scene, but other than the most standout scene, because it's obviously the namesake, I also really would love... Oh, wait, you already said Sansa. Sansa was on last week, right?
Sansa, yes. I think Sansa has an extremely strong case.
Extremely strong case.
I want to put forth Jaime Lannister.
Okay, Sam as well.
Sam is here. Sam was number 1 last week.
Right, okay.
Tyrion? No.
For what?
Yeah, true.
No.
Just like good scenes mostly.
Does he have good, like, does he own any good scenes? No.
Like him and Jaime, I guess.
Stop trying to justify this.
Okay, fine. Listen, I already said no. What's your take on your boy Jorah, whom you have empathy for?
I'm too drunk, dude. Please stop making me
Oh no, legitimately though, I know it's mainly just one line, but what about our guy Sandor?
I like Sam in this episode.
Sandor.
What do you mean? Oh, Sandor. Ooh.
Yes.
I think he should absolutely be at least considered
In contention. Okay.
Yeah,
I
'cause that
think
was-
I've been through the list here a
that
couple
moved
times.
Me
Yeah.
a lot.
I think this is everyone in contention unless you want to consider Gendry for getting it in.
I mean, we have Arya, right?
Yeah, Arya's already up here.
Okay.
We're gonna have to make some cuts though, because I got like 10 people up here.
Okay, who do you have?
I have Gendry, Sandor, Jaime, Arya, Daenerys, Sansa, Jon, Sam, Brienne, and Jorah.
Why do you have Dany?
She was here from last week. I don't think Daenerys makes the list.
Yeah, I don't think Dany makes
Okay.
this list at
Gone.
all.
I don't know that Jon makes this list. I don't think he did anything that spectacular.
Yeah, it's not John's episode, which I kind of like. I kind of like
I
that
agree.
if that was the intent, like, hey, like we need to flush out some more interactions with everybody other than John
I agree.
because he's been the focus. I good call. Very, very good call, I think, on this episode.
I think she has a solid episode, but I personally wouldn't put Arya on this list.
Okay, well, let's take off the other, like, no shit. Let's get Gendry off this list.
All right.
And then
All
we
right.
can address Arya in just a minute.
Gendry's gone. That leaves the Hound, Jaime, Arya, Sansa, Sam, Brienne, and Jorah.
So I feel stronger about Arya than I do Jorah. And I think the only scene that
I think we're going to
Jorah
lose
carries on.
both of them, honestly.
You think we're going to have to get rid of both of them?
I
I think you're probably right.
Okay.
But the only scene that Jorah carries for me is his interaction with Dany, which I do really like. But it's just not enough.
not
It's
enough.
not powerful enough for me.
I would agree. We can lose Jorah.
So I want to get Jorah off. And and now to address Arya, if I really address like what I loved about Arya this episode, I think that it's more of Sandor's delivery
Yeah.
and can kind of be encompassed by Sandor being on the list if he ends up being on the list.
Why don't we do this now that we're down to 6? Why don't we start placing and then we can
Okay.
maybe see where we're at for the
I
final
have
cut.
a feeling you're probably gonna oppose this, but I want to petition for Brienne at 1.
I'm not fully opposed to it.
You're gonna look because this is what I think is gonna happen. You're gonna make some very valid points about other characters holding stronger scenes and performing stronger, which I don't think I would discount that. I just simply think that she has the most momentous scene.
She
in my
for sure
opinion.
does. For
she
sure.
does good. She does very well.
Oh, I just
I like her her performance is wholesome and enjoyable throughout the episode, and she gets to be the star of this fantastic scene. And she's a knight now, which is something that
Here's-
she's always loved.
Here's my one holdout against Brienne is that she also had the worst scene of the episode between her and Jaime.
I don't think that's her fault though.
Well, it's the writer's fault then. Like, what do you want from me?
Well,
Like,
no, I'm just saying that like
the viewers will see that I forgot about someone and pulled something up. You're probably not gonna like this, but
did you pull up Dolorous Ed?
what about my guy fucking Ed, who's not fucking Ed?
No, dude.
How did you know I pulled up Dolorous Ed?
know you,
Is it because
Scott.
I always pull up dollars?
Yes. Any one of our listeners ever in history could have known that you pulled up Dolorous
You
Ed.
basically had a 50-50 shot that it was either Ed or Davos.
Wait, did we talk about Davos yet?
Yeah, Davos though, legit. He got them cheeks warm. Davos, I love
My boy
Davos.
warming them cheeks.
He did nothing this episode. Ed though had
No,
one
dude.
of our
Ed
favorite
didn't
scenes
do-
in the episode. Is all I'm saying. Okay, listen. I will shake to Brienne at first. I don't love it, but I can live with it.
And you can understand it.
I can
well.
understand it.
Okay.
For me, Jaime and Sam have to be 2 and 3. I'm a little
not
torn.
opposed to that.
I'm a little torn on the order. Where do you stand?
Personally, Sam does more for me in this episode.
Okay.
But also, like, he has more individual moments, in my opinion.
Those technical difficulties are really making this fun. You've frozen a decent number of times.
Have I really?
It's not been terrible, but it's
okay.
There.
Well, I hope it's fine.
Yeah.
But Jaime does hold the fact that he is part of the scene.
Yeah. That's
and is a huge part of the scene. Like,
I could go either way. I love them both to death. These are two of my favorite characters.
Help remind me. What other strong scenes does Jaime hold?
Like
just his intro,
him and
like
Tyrion,
at the beginning?
the intro. I think his scene with Brienne is very good.
Oh, true. His scene with Brienne is. And Sam has the
Jorah
Watchers
scene,
on the Wall
the
scene,
Watchers
and
on
the
the Wall
Jorah
scene.
I think it's Jaime, dude.
Now we're forgetting one of Sam's, aren't we?
Yeah, but when he's a fucking idiot about the crypts.
No, I'm not thinking of that. But I think
it's Jaime.
Honestly,
Jaime Sam.
I was wanting to make a bigger push for Jaime at 1. But you feel very strongly about Brienne, so I'll go with that. I think it's Jaime.
Okay.
So then Sam goes to 3. And then I think for me it's okay. So who we have left? Just FYI, so because I know you can't see this.
It's Sansa, Sandor, and Arya, right?
And Dollar Set. Don't fucking forget Ed now.
Dude,
you
the
son of a bitch.
matter-of-fact delivery. Good delivery, Scott. And Dollar Set.
And Dollar Set. Don't you dare forget, you son of a bitch. Sansa has one scene and one scene only, but I really loved it.
Mm-hmm.
But kind of the same can be said for Sandor.
Are we going to go with logic or are we going to go with bias? Because if we go with bias, it's definitely Sandor.
Yeah.
But if we go with logic, I think Sansa's scene holds more weight and is definitely more impactful.
More weighty for the overall politics of the realm. For me personally, impactful was Sandor for sure. I could go either way.
I think, okay.
I mean, I think these are our final 2, though. Like,
yeah, I think you're right.
Unless you really want to Ed's sitting here.
I think it's got to go Sansa Sandor because, like, the Sandor scene will live in our heart for sure. Yeah. But also, like, Sansa is throning,
looking out for the North,
and it's probably the only one of the 5 that are on here that are that's actually throning in a sense.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
And is an equally great scene. I think it's got to be Sansa than Sandor.
Okay, all right. I will absolutely shake to that. I'll just go ahead.
Is this the most civil we've ever been?
Zach can't stop me from what I may or may not be doing on the list right now.
So don't do it.
What is happening? So that's
drink.
Our list. Hold on. Let me see if I can just we'll just go ahead and will you quit your belly aching right now? Let's just
it happened again
and do that. What, all the vodka's at the bottom?
Yeah.
All right, don't mind that. That'll be fine. That'll be a nice surprise for when Zach is editing.
God,
so
damn it,
that leaves us with Brienne taking the top spot, Jaime at number 2, Sam the Slayer at 3, Sansa at 4, and our guy Sandor Clegane at 5. And that is all that is on this list, I swear. Zachy boy, what are you rating this episode?
No,
my guy,
you're going first.
Okay, all right, that's a good call. Okay, Do you remember what I rated the last episode?
I don't.
Episode 1 of season 8.
I don't.
Because I liked it a lot. I do know that. I liked it more than you did, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I do remember that.
And at first blush, I liked it better than this episode. I did. I liked it a lot. So
it's just not.
I would like to rate this episode a half point below whatever I rated that episode. So, was it Jenna or Jenny?
Jenna.
So
Jenna Shaw.
if you could just go ahead and slot me in for a half point below whatever I rated season 8.
Nah, dude. What are you rating this episode, you fucking cunt?
I need to know what I rated that one at, because I liked that one better.
Because I need to know.
Yeah, Jenna, just put me down for minus half point of what I did episode 1 of. There you go.
Scott, what are you rating this episode?
I want to say it was like an 8 or an 8.5. Does that sound right?
Sure.
If I play it safe here, I might go lower than you want. You should just let me.
I don't give a shit what you do, Scott.
You care. You don't give me that shit.
I just want your candid, honest opinion on what you rate this episode.
This is my honest opinion that I liked the first episode of the season slightly more than this one. That is my candid, honest opinion. That is why I'm doing this. I'm not doing this as a bit.
I honestly feel like you went 8.5.
I'm gonna go 7.5 for safety.
Okay. This might be one of our largest point differentials.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go 9 on this.
Ooh.
It holds up, man. I don't think it's in contention with a top 5 episode, but I absolutely think this is a top 10 episode for me. I went this entire episode scene by scene, albeit the pace is very fast, but scene by scene, constantly feeling emotions, constantly feeling tension, and Game of Thrones does very well at this in early seasons, so possibly this is a little bit just because it's refreshing, but this episode embodies everything that I love about Game of Thrones, this is an extremely high ranking episode for me.
I like it a lot. Again, not as much as you, but it's a very solid episode. We obviously probably will eventually make a list of some kind or a battle royale of the episodes, but for me, it probably wouldn't make top 10.
We're gonna do a what?
I don't know. Jenna, just go ahead and put me down for half a point below what I rated the last episode. Anyway, Zachy boy, take us out of here because this has gone on way too long.
It hasn't actually been. Surprisingly, it's been an hour and a half.
Yeah, add that to the hour and a half of our asses sat here
sure, okay.
fucking trying to get this shit to work.
Oh my God. Guys, we appreciate
I've been in this
and
closet
love
for
you
3
so
hours.
much. Yeah, that's how much Scott loves you. Scott's been in the closet all his life, though. Don't let him fool you.
There it is. I was like, as soon as I said it, I was like, I left myself wide open.
Yeah, absolutely. We love you guys. We appreciate you. If you're new here, click the like button. Click the subscribe button, I think is what I said. Why are you having me take us out? I'm drunk.
Because you always do. I don't know how to do it. Click that subscribe button. Comment. Hey, I actually do have something to add here. We are coming very close to the end of our journey here with Game of Thrones, at least on the episode by episode format. We definitely have intention and some kind of sort of plans to do a couple more Game of Thrones episodes, wrap up type episodes after the thing is over. What I would like to do is all you listeners and watchers out there, hit us up, whether in the YouTube comments or the Discord comments, give us anything you feel like, because I would like to do a kind of listener feedback episode where we can talk general things after the series has completed.
We did it with Harry Potter, so if you've been around since the Harry Potter days, it's the same thing.
Yes, hit us with your hot takes, with your, if you have like little games or just like questions, things we didn't talk about that you think we should have, or things you want us to go deeper on, anything like that, we'll do a viewer feedback episode or listener feedback episode covering the whole series. And just let that rip. Start thinking about those things now. We'll do that sometime after we finish the whole series.
I was actually thinking of doing... Dude, can you fucking get out of my head?
Get out of your docking?
No, don't get out of that. Stay right where you're at. We'll probably talk about this in future episodes as well, just as a reminder. But what I would like to do is have you guys make those submissions. I will actually put them into either print them out or write them out.
Put them in a Google Doc or something, yeah.
But what I want to do is I want it to be random. I want to like draw from a cup, draw from a hat, like submissions.
We'll get
that you
AI
guys
to
send
figure
in.
that out.
Yeah, we'll get AI to figure that out. So yeah, truly, if you have these things, submit them maybe individually. That might be a little bit easier to separate all of them. Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. Anyway, again, thank you guys so much for listening and watching, and we'll see you guys next time. I don't know what else I was going to say. Love you guys. Bye.
We're so professional.
Oh, yeah. The best.